Hello everybody. What we're going to do here, we're going to make a all white turkey roll. I'm going to see if I still have the touch. Ooh, still got a little ice in there. Okay, well chilled. There we go. It's a basted turkey breast that I am using. And I got to drain off the excess juice. Whatever you do, when you buy a turkey, try to find one that isn't pumped up full of juice, because all they're doing is selling you water at whatever the price may be. But you can see there just how much juice it does you no good. They tell you it does, you know, but it really doesn't. It's just putting money in their pocket, not yours. It's taking money out of your pocket and putting it in theirs. And it doesn't add anything to the turkey. If you have a good turkey and you know how to cook, that's the most important thing, is knowing how to cook. You'll have to forgive me while I'm not familiar with this brand. But anyway, I'll tell you, this brand had 15% solution pumped into the turkey breast. 15%. That's quite a bit. Okay, let's get started. First off, we need to get rid of the loose skin that's not needed. That's that. And this. It pays to have a good sharp knife. The most important part of the knife is from there on down to the point, to the tip. That's where you'll do all your work. Okay, what we do is we get along the edge of the breastbone, and you keep that blade, and it pays to have a fairly flexible blade. This is a boning knife. It's not as flexible as a fillet knife, but that's all right if you know what you're doing. And what you do, as you can see here, what I'm doing is taking this down along the edge of the breastbone, peeling it off more or less, keeping that blade right up against the breastbone. And if you pick up anything on the meat that you shouldn't, you can always go back and trim it off. Now when you're making an all white turkey roll, as we always called them, all you want is when you're done, is 2 slabs of white meat from the breast. All the extraneous stuff that comes along with it, you don't use because it's not white meat. As you can see, now I'll show you here. As you can see here, there's the keel bone. It's like the keel of a ship. That's the keel bone. You can see that there's very little left there. That's 1/2 of the turkey breast. You want to make sure you keep some of the, keep the skin on when you're making the turkey roll. That don't belong. That's wing meat. That don't belong. Yeah, we do the same thing on the other side. But first, I got a cooking aid. Called a pop-up timer. And I go, once again, get up here by the rib cage, start up there, find my point, there's a little bone right there. Got to get on the outside of it, rib bone. Anybody can do this with some practice. Don't take long. It didn't take me long to learn. Dad showed me how. Took me a couple tries when I got onto it. When I was doing it every day, I could have this done. I would have had this boned out by now. When I was doing it every day. I would start with a very sharp knife. Now, see? This is what we got left. It's hanging by the keel bone. And what I'll do is I'll come underneath that keel bone and cut it free. There we go. Now, I got my 2 halves of the turkey breast right here. See, there's the skin that attaches. See, this is what it looks like. Now, what I want to do is I want to split these in 2, right down the middle. Where the keel bone was, I just take and split them in 2. Because when I make a turkey roll, you want it symmetrical. Well, if you have it like this, you're going to have a turkey roll shaped like a tank on a motorcycle. Whereas when you take and take the 2 pieces and go like this, rotate, well then it comes up to a better shape. Now when we go in there, in the pieces of meat, there's a little cartilage and stuff, that needs to come off where the wing was. And as soon as it's slick, so there we go. Scrap is what it is. Need to sharpen up the blade a little bit. There we go. See, you have some connective tissue right here. This is where the wing came into the breast muscle. So what you do is, in red meat they call it silver skin, which is essentially what this is silver skin. It's just connective tissue. And you just trim that out because you can't eat it. It's one of those things, if it's in there when you get done cooking, why, you'll hit it, it'll be real chewy, and you'll spit it out. So it's pointless, you know, in a case like this, where, you know, I'm not mass producing these, so I got time to trim it out. But anyway, yeah, one time there I made several hundred, you know, in a day's time, you know. So, you know, after a while, here's the tenderloin. See, this is, you know, if you was breaking this down, you would take this breast half and you make cutlets out of it. And they are really good cutlets. Breaded cutlets. Turkey divan. Mom always made turkey divan. That was really good. You have to look up that recipe. There's a little bit of on that tenderloin. There's a little bit of connective tissue there. Cartilage or ligament. That's what it is. There we go. Okay. Trim up the skin. See if there's anything. Yeah. Here we go. We don't need that on there. Yeah. And we'll do the other one, the other half. Same way. There's some excess skin fat. You can trim that down a little bit. Now, you don't want to trim it all off, because that's supplies moistness. There, just trim it down a little bit. That's all you need to do. Yeah. Anyway, go in and get the silver skin off of this one, where the wing joined up to the breast. Take that tough connective tissue off. There we go. And this one's pretty much ready. Okay. Let's inspect it. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Now, you can see how I turned them around. Now, next step to making a roll is the fun part. Shoved you aside. I hope I don't run out of paper towels before I get done here. This is my stuffing horn. That's about a $5 stuffing horn. I wasn't going to spend $250 for a stainless steel stuffing horn, so I went down to Lowe's and I got a 4-inch piece of water line. I know it's, you know, because, oh, you don't want to use water line. Well, why not? You know, it's good enough for water. So, you know, and you drink that water, so I know it's safe. Now, what I have to do here, I have to put this over that and see how it goes on. And then take a piece of string and I'll tie one end off. I'll just kind of thread it through. There. There we go. There. Put about 2 or 3 knots on it. That'll keep it together. There we go. And just cut this netting off. We're done with that. Oh. Now, let's see what we got here. What I do is I put one piece in, like so. Make sure I get it positioned right. Put one piece in, and the other piece on top. And I put it in there and I shove it all the way down. As you can see, it's starting to come out. And I just hold back on it a little bit. What I need is a handle on this thing. But when you make something on the fly, there we go. And there we go. Turkey roll, an all white turkey roll. Now I'll just put the finishing touches on it, get it shaped. When I had a machine that did it, I swear that the guy that invented the machine had to have been one of the gunners on one of those destroyers, battleships, you know, from World War II, because the stuffing machine that stuffed the turkeys worked on the same principle as one of those loaders for those 16-inch guns on the big battleships. Worked the same way. It shoved the powder loads in, and that's the way it does with the turkey meat. It shoves that turkey meat in there and holds it. And I think I pulled off a little too much netting. What the hell? There we go. Finished product. Trim off the excess. all over my arm. And there you go. One all white turkey breast roll, roast, whatever you want to call it. Okay, folks, I hope you enjoyed this instructional. Give it a try if you are one of those kind that like to try these things. You know, one thing to remember though, when you go buy a turkey, try to find one that's minimally processed, that doesn't have a bunch of juice pumped into it, because it's just no good. You will have a certain amount of retained moisture from the processing, which shouldn't exceed 6%. 6% is all the higher it should be. Most of the time, when we process turkeys, it was only 3%. It would pick up 3% in the chilling process. And you have to chill, you know, that's just a requirement. And, but, you know, 15% just means that you're buying 10% of that weight, whatever it be. If it's 12 pounds, you're buying 1.2 pounds of water, essentially, because the ingredients that they use in making that broth, as they like to call it, you know, that makes it juicier, it's just nothing more than salt and flavoring, which is dirt cheap. And so, you know, at whatever the price may be, if it's $1 a pound, you know, you're paying $1 for water. You know, it's expensive enough coming out of your tap, but you don't have to pay for it out of your food too. So there you are, folks. Admire my workmanship. I still got the touch. And on that note, I will say goodbye and have a good day. Enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy your Christmas and Happy New Year. From a person that's not politically correct.